everyone, and welcome to
The Movie House.
Today we want to talk to you about a movie from 1994 called Heavenly Creatures, starring Kate Winslet and Melanie Lynskey. It's directed by Peter Jackson. It's a true life story, right?
Yes. It's a true life story, crime, murder story of two teenagers in New Zealand who killed the mother of one of them.
Yeah, it's a disturbing subject matter, and it's told in an interesting fashion, both visually and I think conceptually. There's a lot of fanciful stuff based
on the diaries of the girl who killed her mother.
Right. She had they both had very active imagination.
Yes, they were very highly intelligent girls, both who had come through very difficult ailments. I forget what disease Pauline had. She had some kind of horrible bone disease, and Julia had tuberculosis and had been dealing with it since she was a child. And she's they traveled a lot. Her family traveled a lot, and Pauline is in New Zealand, and that's why Julia's family comes to New Zealand, because of the climate there would help her lungs.
Right, they're from England, and they go there for her health.
Yes.
And
these two girls meet at school, and they just really hit it off because they're very much alike.
Yes, like you said, they're very intelligent, they're very sort of quirky and creative, and a lot of the other students don't really know how to deal with them. And so when they find each other, they really gravitate right to each other and become very, very fast and intense friends, which leads, unfortunately, ultimately to tragedy.
Yes.
But it's told, like I said, in a very sort of interesting way by Peter Jackson, with the visuals.
It's beautiful. It's beautifully done.
Yeah, what's the word I'm looking for? Their fanciful ideas about
their dream world.
Their dream.
They kind of
live in.
World, they live in another world.
Yeah. So which they probably prefer to real life because of all the problems that real life has, and so he shows that to the viewer, and sometimes you're not sure what's real or what's fake. So it's a little hard. You got to really pay attention. And the characters, though, are well drawn. Kate Winslet and Melanie Lynskey do an excellent job for young
and
actresses.
This is their first movies.
Yes.
This is their first really big movie roles, and I believe you said you heard that they were really, really close friends because they're in practically every scene together. I mean, they really bring, you can see the friendship because it was off screen as well as on screen.
Right. Yeah. Melanie Lynskey commented recently that she misses Kate's friendship because they did get close very, very fast on the film, and they're in practically every scene together. And then their careers, though, have sort of diverged, where Kate's won an Oscar and did Titanic and all this kind of stuff, became superstar, and Melanie is doing well. She's been a working actress ever since as well.
And she plays Rose on 3.5 Men.
Right. But
the happy, quirky stalker.
Right. And she's great. But they apparently don't run in the same circles anymore, and she misses hanging out, and that's unfortunate but understandable. And Kate Winslet apparently beat out over 100 other young actresses for the part. This is her first film role, and Melanie Lynskey was cast 2 weeks before they started shooting. And they brought her in and told her she got the part. They showed her Kate Winslet's audition tape, and they said, "This is how good you have to be."
No pressure. But
she came through. She was and really good.
They're both very, very good, and they look like Pauline and Julia. They look like the real people. And I just want to give you a little background. When this movie came out, the girls, this is a true story, and they were found guilty of murdering Pauline's mother, and they were sent to prison for 5 years. And they were only 15 at the time. So they were only in prison for 5 years, and they had their names changed. They were given new identities because of their age and sent out into the world. And I've heard that it's hard telling. There's been stipulation that they were told never to speak to each other again, never see each other again. As far as I know, they never did. Well, so many people were intrigued by this movie, they started hunting for these girls. And one of them turns out to be, she just passed away this April, was the very famous crime novelist Anne Perry. And that's what made me interested in seeing this movie, because I'm an Anne Perry fan. I forget when I found out that she was helped participate in murder when she was a young woman. But we had the privilege, maybe 10 years ago, we had dinner with Anne Perry in Columbus at the James Thurber House. They would invite authors in, and you could buy tickets and have dinner with the author. And I was hoping my best friend could go with me because she was a big Anne Perry fan too, and she was unable to, so I took my husband. I took Wally, and there was maybe 15 of us?
Yeah, it was a very small group.
Very small group, and we had dinner with Anne Perry, and we could ask her questions. And she was very gracious. It was kind of weird to look at this. I mean, how old was she at that time? She was probably in her 70s. I mean, I think she was in her early 80s when she passed away. So she was in her 70s, and to see this very successful, it was hard to imagine that when she was 15, she helped violently kill someone.
Yeah.
Very, very, and I got my picture taken with her, and it was wonderful experience with her, but it's hard to, it's like, wow, this is the same person.
Right. It is
the same person.
It's weird. It plays with your head a little bit. And they avoided the death penalty because they were teenagers.
They were 15.
So they got sent to prison instead. And they were going to claim not guilty by reason of insanity initially, but their lawyers talked them out of it. And it turned out to be a good choice because they would have been, under the laws back then, they would have been lobotomized.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Yeah.
So it's a true story. It's told, again, as far as we could tell, from the diaries of Pauline, to give her perspective, which she was very open in her writing in her diary about her thoughts and intents and all that sort of thing. And so it's not an easy thing to sit through in some respects, but it was well done.
Yeah. In fact, we even stopped it halfway, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to watch this, but I was intrigued to see how they did this in the film. So, and I thought they did a great job. They did a great job.
Yeah. I won't recommend it just because it's not my cup of tea.
Right. And it's not something I'd probably watch again either, but
it was
well done. It is a well done movie and true story. Sad story.
Sad, yes, very sad. Although again, the movie doesn't spell all this out, but we do know that certainly Anne Perry went on to live a productive life and wrote a lot of good books and brought a lot of enjoyment to people through her writing. And I understand the other young lady also became a Catholic, I think, and worked with children and things like that. And so,
and as far as I know, neither married.
Right.
Both kept very quiet. I think it was shocking to them. I know that Anne Perry has given lots of interviews and has been asked about this because she can't deny it. But I think she was. I think it's sad that they got exposed, though. I think that's kind of sad that people hunted them down, and I think you know, they paid their dues and they should have been left alone. And it's unfortunate that people didn't leave them alone. But
there you go. Well, so yeah, if you want to check it out, it's a well done movie.
Yeah, Peter Jackson, I mean, does make great movies.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. It's in New Zealand. It's beautiful. The time period, it's the 50s. That's a beautiful, it's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous film.
And it's kind of a historical sort of thing. If you're a Kate Winslet fan, this is early
Very
Kate Winslet,
early,
so
yeah.
maybe that's worth it.
Yeah.
If you're into that sort of thing. Okay, thank you again for joining us. We look forward to seeing you again next time.
Bye.